Hi everyone, I'm Noah Greenblatt from InspireConversation.com, a website designed to help develop meaningful relationships between parents and their children through conversation. We've recently started a new and exciting video interview section, and what better way to launch this off than by interviewing Miss Teen USA winner Kaylee Graham. Thank you so much, Kaylee, for taking the time to meet with us today. We're so excited to get things started.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Excellent. So we're going to start off with a couple of fun questions. What are your favorite subjects in school?
Well, I definitely love English and writing because I love to write. I have a blog. I do that, and I just love writing for a long time, and I love to read. But I'm not so great at math, so it's a struggle. But I like to challenge myself in that way too.
Excellent. I've looked at your blog. X-ray, it's excellent, and math also is a killer for me.
Yeah, pre-cal was not my favorite.
I get you. So who are some of your role models?
Well, to me, I think my mom is definitely a big role model. I know a lot of people say their parents. It's because you have such a deep connection with them, and I just see her. She's a really strong woman of faith, and she's raised me and my 4 other siblings, really well, and she's instilled really great morals in us. But I also really look up to the people that I work with in the office in the Miss Universe organization. Our president, Paula Shugart, who is the president, of our company, and she's such a strong female leader. I also really look up to my sister queens, Miss USA and Miss Universe.
Very nice. Excellent. Actually, what you said about your mom, that's perfect for InspireConversation.com. Exactly what our mission is. So good job.
No, thanks.
So embracing the community seems to give a nod to volunteering and contributing. What are some of your favorite ways to share your time with others?
Well, I love volunteering with the organizations that the Miss Universe organization has partnered with. Best Buddies and Project Sunshine are kind of my, the ones I volunteer with the most. Best Buddies especially, they just have a great mission of inclusion. They try to work to promote inclusion between people with intellectual and developmental disabilities into, the rest of society. They have a great jobs integration program, just amazing things. So love being with them.
That's excellent. Sounds like you do a lot of very amazing stuff. You accomplished winning the Miss Teen USA pageant, which is an amazing accomplishment.
Thank you.
So what advice can you give to other teens on how to pursue their dreams?
Well, I think the biggest thing for me was having an actual plan, because you can come up with all these great dreams and these great goals, but if you don't have a plan and a timeline to accomplish it, it's just going to sit there at the back of your mind. So I gave myself, I competed in South Carolina first for Miss South Carolina Teen USA, and I had my timeline of the things I was going to do to prepare for that, and then I had my timeline for Miss Teen USA and how I was going to prepare, and also manage the rest of my responsibilities as a student in high school. And I just think that having that and having a designated time to get it all done by, it just promoted everything, helped it go along.
Perfect. So organization's key.
Yes, absolutely.
What do you believe some of the greatest challenges are for teens in maintaining a positive self-image?
Well, I think a lot of it goes back to the media around us, but not just, the images we see, but the idea that it promotes that we are defined by our appearance. And I think it just puts a lot of pressure, because you see all these people that are photoshopped and looking absolutely perfect, and you see that you have to, try and measure up to that, and that if you don't, then automatically, you're less than someone that, theoretically does. So that's something I've been trying to do with the Live Beautifully campaign, is just kind of change people's minds about that, get the conversation going that, we're defined by our character and not by what we look like.
Yeah, I agree with you. Great message.
Thanks.
At InspireConversation.com, we try to help families get closer together through meaningful conversation. Does your family participate in this, and what have your experiences been like for them?
Yeah, my family, we actually, because we have a big family, and you know this too, you have 5 siblings, but we don't actually sit down together to eat at dinner because we're all on different schedules, but every night we have a little devotional period where we, read the Bible, and we just kind of talk about our day and, pray together. So that's been my experience, and I just think that it just really helps your family stay together, and it just promotes, that friendship, because you have to be brothers and sisters, but you can choose to be friends, So it's just been great, and I love, being with them and spending time with them, and I miss them.
That's amazing, yeah. Hopefully you see them soon then.
Yeah, see them in June, which will be
Perfect.
great.
For graduation.
Yes.
Hi Keely, I'm sure you've had a lot of memorable experiences volunteering since you've become Miss Teen USA. What is one of your most significant?
Well, I think the one that I'll always remember is the first time I did the Live Beautifully presentation at a local high school, or a local elementary school in South Carolina. And I was so nervous because I didn't know how the kids were going to take the message, if they were going to, really respond to it or not, because I had great response to my blog, but this was the first time I was speaking in person. And I had gotten through everything, and I really felt like I had nailed my points down. And then at the end, kids were asking questions, and one girl said, I felt the exact same way that you did, and that it just really touched her. And it was just, for me, such a big moment because she had admitted in front of all of her peers. There were like 200 kids in the room, and she had just admitted that, you know, she struggled with self-confidence just like I had. And I just saw that was a big step, and it really made me realize how relatable the message was, and, you know, how the potential it had to have an impact. So
that's really, really nice, especially that she like understood.
Yeah, and that really made me, you know, just kind of broke my heart a little bit that she felt the same way, but it also like just reiterated the fact that we all go through the same things. You know, Miss Teen USA, a kid in 2nd grade, we all kind of have the same feelings.
I'm sure you made a really big impact on her.
I hope so.
What motivated you to start the site? Live Beautifully.
Yeah, well, like I said, I struggled with like self-confidence and self-image whenever I was in middle school, and, you know, from elementary, but definitely like in middle school was kind of like the low point for me. And when I started high school and I started, you know, getting involved with my school and the community activities that we had, and kind of started opening my mind to like, look, maybe the way that I look isn't what defines me anymore. It just completely transformed who I was and the person that I wanted to be. So I wanted to share that message with other girls, and, you know, maybe if they're taught that at a younger age, then you don't have to go through some of that terrible, you know, sense of self-loathing throughout middle school.
That's a really great message, and I'm sure everyone would agree.
I hope so.
What would you say to other teens who want to have it all but have very busy schedules?
Get ready to work, because it's not easy. One of my favorite quotes is, anything worth having, it isn't going to come easy. So, you know, it's just, you have to think about what's important to you. And if it's really important to you, you're going to make time to do it. Organization is key. And like I said, you just have to set goals, and you have to set timeline for those goals.
I'm sure your life has significantly changed since becoming Miss Teen USA. Was it hard leaving everything you've grown up with to come to New York?
It really was. And I was really excited. I wasn't expecting how much I would miss home, which is crazy because I kept telling Mom, I was like, I can't wait to go to New York. It's going to be so much fun. And it has been. But, you know, New York winter is not the same as South Carolina winter, number one. So I've missed the sunshine. And even New York spring is not quite like South Carolina spring like I'm used to. But it has been hard, you know, moving away from my friends and my family, especially while everyone else is, you know, going through their senior year. But the experiences I've had and the things that I've learned while I'm here, I wouldn't trade it for the world. You know, I would go back and do it again 100 times if I could, which it makes me really sad that, you know, my year's already halfway over, but it's been incredible.
What's been your favorite thing of New York so far?
Gosh, I love the sense of independence that one has in New York, because you can literally hop on a subway, just go anywhere. You can go out for any kind of food that you want. And, you know, just so much happens here, and the culture is so unique. And I just feel like I've really been exposed to a lot of different ideas, and it just helped me grow.
Okay, what motivated you to take on the additional challenge of participating in pageants?
Well, for me, number one, it just looked like a lot of fun to begin with. And I was like, you just get to dress up and you get to, you know, feel beautiful on stage for a bit. So that's what kind of motivated me my first time. But then I competed and I saw the kind of impact that you can have as a title holder. You can, you know, use the position to really have a voice. And that's what motivated me to keep coming back. And, you know, I thought it was a great goal, and it helped me really develop into the person I am today.
I'm also sure it's very fun.
It is very fun, yes.
But it's probably very hard to balance your schedule, schoolwork, pageants. How do you do with it?
Absolutely. I have my planner, and I write down everything that I have to do the next day, and I set my timeline, and I just kind of, I know last year, my junior year, when I was Miss South Carolina Teen USA, getting ready for Miss Teen USA and getting all of my junior year, you know, it's important because you're about to apply to college. So I literally had things scheduled down to the minute, like go here, eat here, do this, you know, so it's about being specific and being organized.
Project Sunshine brings services to families with medical conditions. What made you decide to lend your time to this project?
Yeah, well, I love their mission. Number one, Project Sunshine, it's about spreading sunshine and positivity to kids that really need it. And that completely goes along with the Miss Teen USA mission and our brand about being positive and, you know, spreading smiles wherever we go. So I just thought it was a really great fit for us, and I love spending time with them.
Very nice. You do a lot of volunteer work. How do you recommend other teens go about getting more involved in their communities?
Well, I think, number one, you have to look for different ways, because sometimes it doesn't always fall in your lap, so you have to be open and you have to be looking. Schools have a lot of great opportunities to give back to communities. I know my school had our student government, that they were always doing some kind of volunteer project. Also, my church had a lot that we did with them. So you just have to be open to it and have a good heart when you go in and just expect to give back.
what is the thing that you would most like to see the teens of today working together to change?
Well, I'd like to see a lot more responsibility. And I think that we are maturing at a faster rate than in the past, but I still think that there's a lot that teens kind of disregard and kind of throw off. And I think that we need to, step up and be financially responsible. We need to be responsible for our actions and even the things that we post on Instagram or Facebook, just being conscious and being responsible about what we're doing and saying.
Okay, what do you feel is your biggest accomplishment as Miss Teen USA?
Well, I think my biggest accomplishment, I just really enjoy going whenever I speak to schools and I speak to kids. I think that for me has been more impactful than anything else. And to me, that's the number one way I like to spend my time, because I was there one day, I knew I was a kid and I looked up to people like Miss Teen USA so much, and I think by giving back, I can't think of a better accomplishment.
It's great that you do that. What do you plan on doing after Miss Teen USA?
Well, I'm trying to decide which college I'm going to go to. I've got the University of South Carolina Honors College, and it's amazing there. And then I've also got Brown University that I'm trying to decide between. So I'll go to college, though. I know I'll go to one of them. And then after that, I plan to, be interning in New York City throughout my summers, and hopefully working in fashion one day in the business-related side of fashion.
Well, Kaylee, thank you so much for coming out to talk to us today. We had such an amazing time getting to know you and getting to learn from you, and I'm sure everybody else who's watching this interview will be able to learn so much from you. We wish you the best of luck for the rest of your year, and we hope you have an amazing time here in New York.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been my pleasure.
Good, thank you.